Hey guys, it's Hunted from Plat Pursuit, and we are getting ready to dive into Syberia, the world before. If you've never used one of our guides before, this will show you everything you need to do in order to complete the plat as quickly as possible. As usual, I will do my very best to avoid spoilers so you can enjoy the game and earn the plat at the same time. There are a number of puzzles in this game that I won't be covering as they are part of the main story and worth your time to solve. Before we start, if you're a plat hunter that's looking for an awesome community to share your passion or to get help with those difficult trophies, perhaps participate in some fun monthly events with prizes and giveaways, or you just want to talk about the latest gaming news, we're closing in on that 500 member mark. We're just about to begin a cool team bingo event for the month of April. You're not going to want to miss it. Link is below, or go to discord.gg/platpursuit. And hey, while you're down there, like the video and subscribe for more of these awesome guides. Thanks. Alright, so let's go over a few things to note before you start the hunt. First, the game does save regularly, but you are unable to create backup saves, and there is no checkpoint system, so you have to make sure you're exploring and finishing all the side objectives before you move on with the main story, as there is really no way to backtrack. You can finish just about everything in one straight playthrough, but there is one decision that will require a second play to earn both related trophies, and I'll make sure to discuss that when we get there. And in total, there are 26 secondary objectives that all must be done within one playthrough for a trophy. I will be showing you each and every one as we get to them, as well as all of the miscellaneous trophies in order. All you have to do is follow along with this spoiler-free guide, enjoy the game, and add another plat to your collection. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to Syberia, the world before. We're kicking things off with a bit of a warning from the game about secondary objectives. We're going to head over to this painting right here. It's essentially saying that it's going to give us secondary objectives. You don't have to do them, but if you leave the area, you'll no longer be able to do them. Now, you do have to complete every secondary objective in the game for the platinum, so just stick with the guide and we'll obviously go over each and every one of those. But for now, let's head over to the right and head over into this alleyway. There will be a gentleman we need to talk to. Not too far here. There he is. Talk to him.
Goodness, a rock?
Alright, so after a bit of a cutscene, just pick one of these ones that allows you to draw. Don't tell him that you should leave. Just pick one. Whatever you want to do, we'll do the base clef.
All right, I will.
And we will get our first trophy of the game as soon as this cutscene's over.
Perfect.
Okay, so from here, we're going to want to make our way to continuing down the alley here. And there will be a storefront that we have to investigate.
Mama and Papa often talk about it when they think I'm not listening.
And after we do that, we will get our next trophy for parallel investigation, as you see on the screen. And what that means is that we just completed our first secondary objective. So there you go. Secondary objective is done. You can check it in your journal or notebook, whatever this is. And like I said, we will show you each and every one as we go through the guide. So let's go ahead and move on to the next bit. All right, now as soon as you take control after the pretty lengthy cutscene, we have the secondary objective to use introspection to review the situation. What you can do first, before you do that though, is you can come over here and grab this pick that's on the wall, this guitar pick that's right here. Our current secondary objective is to use introspection. And the way you do that is by walking over to your bed. You see it says introspection, hit the triangle, and go through this, and that will complete this secondary objective. Alright, now that we're back with Dana, we have another secondary objective to accomplish. I don't know if you can see it. See, you should. Yeah, so we need to read all of the documents in the shop. And in order to do that, there are 5 total documents. You're going to find 2 right next to her on this counter. Here's this
Herr
one.
Gustav, my future employer.
And then after you read that one, you've got this one over here.
The diploma Frau Beckmann gave me after my concert on the musical square.
And then over here to the left on this counter are 2 more documents. This one
I have to
here.
put these away before I lose them.
And then the second document is in this little box here. We'll go ahead and open her up. And once we do that, then we can come down here and read this one. After that, the final document you need is over by your father here. Should be able to walk around.
Papa?
And after you look through the drawers, you grab the pen. Then up here is the final document.
Vorarlberg automatons. These machines are incredible. These were all very interesting readings, but I should...
Okay, now that we are in the salt mine part 2, you got to do a little bit of mining to get to this point. Once the path opens and you find this little train area, we have a new secondary objective to do, which is right here, inquire about the train. There's a lot of things that you can do, like there's a lot of little things, that you can explore and look at. But the 2 big ones that you need to make sure you do to complete the secondary objective is to run all the way back to the back end of this train. And right up here, there is a look command. Do that one first.
A rock slide decades ago.
And then you'll want to come down here. I don't know if this one matters.
This carriage is more luxurious than the other ones.
I don't think it does because it's not a look. But make sure you grab this one to the left as well.
This cave is reinforced by those old structures.
So the train was supposed to be hidden in this cave.
All right, here we are in the Flower District Part 1. You have to kind of go upstairs and grab a couple things before you can leave. But before we leave the area, there is a computer here that we need to interact with. And we're going to do a couple of things. First things first, we need to check our email. This will give us a trophy. So if you go to Open Mailbox, you'll get Clean Slate.
There must be 3 years worth of emails I haven't read here.
But then you're also going to want to do the 2 search options here. Or I guess it's multiple search options. But you're going to want to search as much as possible. Make sure you go through each and every option in this search. Later on, you'll be back in the Flower District, and we'll be able to get another trophy essentially for doing every search. Okay, so after you do everything else you'd like in the building, there is this phone booth, and you need to kind of knock on it a few times for a trophy.
Yes, I arrived safe and sound.
All right, now that we are done and out of the guest house, we have our secondary objective to do, which is to visit the district, which pretty much just means we have to walk around and look at things. First things first, let's look at the guest house that we just exited out of.
The Dombre guest house.
Okay, then from here, we need to take a look at our motorcycle.
Betty Vaghen is practically all pedestrian.
And then there is the building that's sort of like right next to it here. If you can kind of swing the camera, walk up to it.
Going by what
take
Frau
a look
Vaghen
at this.
told me when I first arrived, this used to be a working class district.
Okay, now from the motorcycle, or the building that we were just looking at, you can head down these stairs here. Takes a little while to walk down the stairs. There's a flower bed right in the middle of the street that we need to look at. Actually, okay. Take a look at this.
This district is just so beautiful.
And finally, the last thing we need to look at to complete this objective is this gate right here. So wander up to it, take a look at
Must
it,
be the botanical gardens.
and that should
That's
give you
closed.
the objective.
Well, the guest house in that neighborhood sure are the best things to happen to me since...
All right, here we are in the Antiques District after you take the tram over here. Very similar to what we just did, we have another secondary objective to explore the stalls before we talk to the antiques dealer. So there are a number of stalls and things that we need to do. So first things first, head on over to this little news shop right here and talk to this guy. Now from here, we're going to turn around and head right to this antique shop. This is not the one that we need, but this is an antique shop. Now, if we turn around and head up these stairs over here, there is a rug vendor right on the corner. I'll talk to him. I don't know if you need to talk to him multiple times, but I think at least just one time you should be fine. And then we'll continue onward, and there's another antique shop right here. Grab this one. From here, we'll turn directly around, and there's a man sitting over here. We'll talk to him. And then a little bit farther ahead, there's a menu board for a restaurant right here. We'll take a look at this. And then we'll head on into the alleyway right here, and there should be something to look at right here. Then from here, we'll turn directly around, head back the way we came, down this way. Talk to this man here. Alright, now we're going to want to head right on up the stairs. And this building right here on the corner is where you need to go, by the way. So don't worry about that for now. We'll head up the stairs. And there is a little storefront right here that we can look at. I'll swing around, head down the stairs yet again. And around the corner, there's a little vendor. I believe this guy is one of them we need. We'll talk to him. We'll continue forward. Talk to this guy here, and I believe this should be just about all of them. Okay, so once you get to pretty much the end of the Antiques District and you chase Oscar around for a little while, you'll come out here and you'll have another secondary objective, which is to go back and see Mueller. This is the first level with 2 secondary objectives, so let's just go ahead and clear this one real quick before we get on the tram to the next area. All you got to do is just run back the way you came, and his shop obviously is right here. Dip in there and go talk to him, and you'll complete the objective.
So, couldn't you catch it?
Come on, Kate. Herr Mueller gave you all the pieces of information you needed.
Okay, soon you'll find yourself in the mountain region of Vaghen, and we have a new secondary objective, which is to admire the view before you set off again. So once you're kind of on this little mountain path, there is a, I don't know what this is, a tree, a dead tree.
What a fantastic view. I should try and find a better spot to admire it from.
All you have to do is walk up and inspect it, and there'll be a small cutscene, and then you have to find the 3 different spots. I believe there's one here. You have this house.
Oh, man.
Then you have the mountains.
If what I read about the region is true.
And then finally the treetops.
That is stunning.
All right, once you make it to the next little area, you get another secondary quest, or objective, whatever. It's inspect the Resistance Fighter Memorial before you set off again. So you are going to want to continue down the trail. Don't go up towards the sign yet, but head over to the left. And you've got this over here to look at.
Now, what do we have here?
Now take a look at the sign.
In memory of all mountain resistance fighters.
And then come down here and take a look at this.
It doesn't look old at all.
And this should complete the secondary objective for you. I believe it did. Yeah, there you go. So secondary objective is done. All right, once you're playing again as Dana, we have a secondary objective pretty much immediately to inspect the painting on the table. That is kind of across the way from where you start, right here at this table. Head on up to it,
Those
press
paintings.
inspect.
I think Herr Gustav wanted me to help him choose the one he should buy.
And I don't think it matters which one you pick. You can pick either one.
I think I'll pick this one.
So now, after you have played the piano for the patrons here at the refuge, you will switch perspectives to Lenny and get another secondary objectives. You can't open the journal while you're playing as Lenny, but if you hit down on the down on the D-pad, you will see you have a secondary objective of try playing the piano. You can talk to these folks, but they won't really say anything to you. But if you head over to the piano, you can hit play and just play a couple of keys, and you should complete the objective.
Oh, Lenny.
Okay, now that we're back in the present day, there are a couple of things that we need to do. First things first, before you head into the refuge, head over to this telescope, and we need to take 5 photos to get a trophy. So just come over here, inspect. You're going to have to put a coin in the slot here.
Put in a coin. Typical.
Hit use, head over to the wallet, go. Now we'll be able to, oh, right, forgot. I'm going to need to remove the cap first. Come up here. Where is it? Should be around here somewhere. Oh, this lever, right. Grab this lever. That removes the cap. And now we need to take pictures of 5 different spots here. Take a photo. Go to the next one. Zoom in.
That's the fabled Silberspiegel. Oh, I wish I had time to watch it change color.
Take a photo of that. I think you have to back out each time. Go back. And go to the next one. Devil's Peak. Zoom in. Take a photo. Go to the next one. Devil's Pass. Zoom in.
Wow. That pass is breathtaking.
Photo. Go to the next one. Zoom in.
I wonder what's inside that tent.
And take a photo. And you should get the trophy. There it is. There is tourism. But we are not done. So exit out of the telescope and we'll begin the next secondary objective. Okay, so now we have this objective, which is to find out about the region and its history before you open Juta's coffer. So there are a few things we can do. First things first is you can wander around Lenny. You can stop and talk to her, I think. I don't think she'll have much to say.
What now, Fräulein?
All right, and then once you're done talking to Lenny, head over to the other side. There is this little ledge right here that you can look out over.
Dazzling up here. I can see why they call it the Silberspiegel.
And then we're going to turn around and go ahead into the cabin itself. And there's going to be a man in here that we can bump into and talk to him. Feel free, obviously, to explore,
That must be
look
the
around
piano
a little
Anna
bit.
played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about.
See what this place looks like in the present. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to stop and talk to this man here. Go ahead and ask him as much as you like. But this won't completely satisfy the secondary objective, so we've got a little bit more to do. Okay, after talking to the gentleman here, we'll go ahead and head on up the stairs. You can always stop and take a look at whatever you
Lenny's
like.
father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it.
But we'll go ahead Climb the stairs now. At the top of the stairs, there's a table. And the table has a book on it. We're going to need to look at this book right here. Make sure you look at this book. Rotate it around. There should be somewhere to click on it. Here? Yeah.
An old book?
But we need to do this for a trophy later on when we're in New Jersey. So make sure you grab that. And then we're going to head over to Lenny's room. And again, you can stop and take a look at things. You can interact. That'll take us up to the attic here in a moment. But there is...
Dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the refuge these days.
Through this door. And in through... Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. There we go. In through this way. And there will be
Lenny's room.
A bunch of photos on the wall. I don't know if...
Not sure I'm allowed in here, really.
Don't know if this wall or
Keep
this
your
photo
servant
counts.
Also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then I will be blameless, innocent of great transgression. Sweet.
And then from here, you're going to want to inspect these photos.
Of the refuge.
Okay, so we'll want to head over to the attic next. So you can leave Lenny's room. Okay, so after you exit Lenny's room, you can go this way and explore a few things if you'd like. But once you're done with all of that, we need to go back to the attic. So head this way. We just lowered the stairs. Gonna want to head on up. And now, again, there are things to explore, but there's this reel on the table, this take-up reel.
Take-up reel?
But then we'll move forward. And in this box, you can read. And then you're going to want to pick up this medal that I just grabbed.
I must remember to ask Lenny about it.
Okay, so after you grab that medallion, the coffer that we need to open is right back here. Make sure you don't open it yet, or you won't be able to complete the secondary objective. Take that medallion, or I guess, you know, the information that we got. I don't think we actually have the medallion itself, but regardless, take that, and we're going to go down and talk to Lenny first. So this is the final thing that you need to do to get this secondary objective. Here we go. We'll go ahead and speak with Lenny.
What now, Fräulein? I was just about to doze off.
And we'll ask her about the resistance medallion.
Can you tell me about the resistance medal with your name on it?
Sorry, I left out one other thing we need to do after speaking to Lenny about the medallion. We have to go down these stairs over towards this little passageway, the Devil's Pass. You're just going to run on over to it, take a look at it, and then need to read this.
That must be the notice the alpinist at the refuge spoke about.
I think that should be it as soon as you
So
back
much
out.
going
Yep,
on in
there you
these
go.
mountains.
That
Now
is
and before.
the
But I'd
end
better
of
get
that
back on
secondary
track, or
objective.
I'll end up renting a room from Demoiselle Lenny and explore the area for weeks.
Now that we have the ability to switch between both Dana and Kate, we are on the cusp of making a very specific choice that is going to really affect how you earn the platinum in this game. So we're gonna have to make a choice whether we tell on Lenny to Junta or we don't. Now there are 2 trophies in this game, one for each option, right? In order to get both trophies, you have to play the game twice, unfortunately. But if you tell on Lenny to Junta in your first playthrough, you will save yourself about probably 3 hours worth of playtime. So what we'll do is we'll report her, play through the game, get the trophy for that later, and then we'll come all the way back to this point and get the final trophy for not reporting her. So it doesn't, I know that's a little confusing, but I just wanted to preface that before you talk to Junta about this.
Especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
So here's the decision. And what we are going to choose to do is, I caught her red-handed. This will help you. This will save you about 3 hours if you do this, is what I recommend.
I think you ought to know.
So yeah, go ahead and continue the rest of this as normal. There's no other secondary objectives or anything we need to do. So I will see you in the next part. But whatever you decide to do, just know that we'll have to come back to at least this point in the next game. Okay, so after you leave the refuge and are back at the guest house, we have one quick thing to do before we go to bed. We have the secondary objective, which is to check out the latest discoveries on the computer. And actually, this will also pop a trophy as long as you searched up all of the terms earlier on in the game when we stopped here before. So just sit down back at the computer and go ahead and do the remaining searches that you haven't done yet, and you will get a trophy for it.
Huh. Yunta. Demoiselle Lenny told me a lot about her.
And there we go. That is the secondary objective done, as well as the trophy for reading everything on the computer. All right, now once you're in this sort of dream-like sequence of past Kate, you have a secondary objective. If you hit down to inspect the house before you take the music box. So there are quite a number of things to do. I'm going to do my best to show them to you in a decent order. So first things first, we're going to look here.
Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night.
Then from here, we're going to turn around. I don't know
Mommy,
if this will
can I go out and play with Olivia?
do anything. Anyways, I don't know if that counts or not, but it's a nice little cutscene. But the next thing, I think we can inspect this too. Again, I don't know exactly what counts. And then there's a mantle. Where is
hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom.
We're here on the mantelpiece. There's a couple of pictures.
I haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time.
Okay, then from here, we're gonna walk this way, and we can stop and talk to our mom if we want. Here. You can talk to her if you like. And we're gonna come back this way and look out this window. And after you do that, there are 3 things to inspect in the kitchen. You've got this on the table.
Wow. I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up.
That. Come over here. We'll skip that one for now because we need to come back to it. Then inspect this one. Open up the drawers. Look. So grab this book and you'll get this trophy as well, the classic novel, as assuming that you looked at it in the refuge. It was the book at the top of the stairs. So if you were following along with the guide, should have just gotten the trophy.
Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday.
So there you go. Grab that. You get the trophy for it, and then come over here. And we've got a couple of things to do here. We can read this letter. And then make sure you check this top drawer as well. And that should do it. There you go. So you get the you get the secondary objective. If you've done everything, followed along with the guide up to this point, you get that trophy. And that means that you are on your way. You're looking pretty good. All right. Now, after you wake up from the dream, you're going to be tasked with calling Olivia. And before we do that, we do have one secondary objective. Use introspection before we call her. So you can do that after you get to the phone booth, essentially. Head down into this area. And before you head over to the phone booth to the left, come over to this counter to the right and use introspection, and that should complete your objective. All right. Now, after the evening is over and you've talked to Olivia, we are getting ready to leave to head back to the musician district. However, we do have a secondary objective to speak to Frau Wagner. about the latest discoveries. So pretty simple. All we got to do is just stop in with her, have a quick chat before we go, and we'll complete this secondary objective. All right, so here we are in the musician district for the second time after a little bit of a touching reunion. We are to make our way through the area, and we have a secondary objective to carry out. Let's scroll up. Use introspection before you go to the academy. We will do that in just a moment, but we do have something else to take care of first. So, if you notice, we're actually in the alleyway where Dana was before, and right here is where she signed. What did we put the bass clef in the cement? So if you take a look at that, you'll get a trophy. So after that, then we'll head back to the main square where we performed the concert as Dana the first time. We're going to head up this way, and I will show you exactly where the introspection point is. You kind of have to walk quite a ways, so it'll take just a moment to get there. Keep moving. Climb up the stairs of doom. And once we go into the circle, you want to keep heading up towards where we performed. Whoa, camera change. Up where we performed as Dana. Climb the stairs. And then up here should be an introspection point right below. Do that, and that will complete your secondary objective. So now once we're in the music academy, we need to head on up to the desk. Feel free to, obviously, to explore whatever you like, to take a look at whatever you'd like over here. But head over to the desk. We have a trophy to earn real quick. Hit inspect on this. Don't ring the bell quite yet, but instead take a look at the phone. Hit interact, and then we're going to type in a very specific number. We're going to call Olivia again, and her phone number is 212-359-1519 1519, and this should pop a trophy for you.
Hi, you've reached Olivia. I'm busy right now, but please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye.
Okay, now after you repair all the automatons and you get the piano working again, you're going to have the main objective of playing the hymn. Now, there is a secondary objective that you may have already done already, which I actually already did. I didn't realize that it counts. I would have showed it to you. Maybe I'll clip in the footage of me talking to him, but yeah, so you're going to have this secondary objective right here. Whoops. It says question the rector about the main square before playing the piano. I already talked to him before I even repaired everything. So if you haven't talked to him a second time, definitely go and do that. Again, he's up in this building here. I wonder if I can have the same conversation with him that I had before. I don't know. We'll try it. So you'll just run over here, ring the bell again. He should talk to you.
I already told you. I'm up to my ears.
So he's not going to talk to me again. But you should have another little bit of dialogue you can do with him about the square itself. As soon as you do that, it'll complete the second objective, the second dialogue. Like say, I'll probably clip in footage of me talking to him.
Excuse me. Hello?
Now what?
Why is the academy going to close?
All right. Now that we're in the Bridge of Mists, there are a couple things we need to do. We have a secondary objective now. That is, find out the latest news of Vaghen. But before we do that, it's not for a trophy. You're just going to need it later. Might as well show it to you now. There's an automaton right here that you need to talk to. And there you go. Here is a souvenir for you. You're going to need this later.
Sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vaghen.
might as well just grab it for now, because we'll need it a little bit later.
Whoa! That's one shrill version of the hymn of Vaghen.
Okay, to learn the latest news, we just need to do a few things. We're going to continue heading down the street here. You can obviously take a look at these things. These just show you the house numbers. We're looking for house 20 in case you've forgotten. But right here, you can't really miss these posters. This is the first thing that you need to inspect.
It looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council.
And then from here, we are going to head over to the left, and there is a set of stairs we need to take right here. Cut in this way, head down these stairs, and then there's going to be a poster on the wall here as well. I don't know if you need to inspect this. I don't think you do. I think this is kind of similar to that other one that we saw earlier. But this poster here, give this a read, and this should complete your secondary objective as soon as you back out.
Protests in the neighborhood and a big storm coming tonight.
All right, now once you've snuck your way into the back area of this little shop, we have to collect 4 photos for a trophy. So first things first, we're going to head upstairs. And there are other things to look at and explore in this place, so we're going to kind of jump around a little bit. But we're going to head through this door right here. And we're sort of in like this old kind of kitchen-looking area. And right here on the counter is a photo. You're going to want to take this one. This is the first of 4 that we need. Oh, there it is.
This photo shows the house partially destroyed.
All right, from here, immediately head through this door. You'll find another photo on the table in the corner. Right here, grab this. Be this one here. Right on the back. There we go.
In remembrance of the eternal bond between the Rozes and the Zimmers.
All right, now from here, we'll head back out this door. Again, feel free to explore this room as much as you like. But we'll exit out this door, which will take us back towards the staircase. Don't go down, and instead we're going to go up this way. And enter right on in through this door. All right, and then we'll go through the master bathroom into the bedroom. Quick little cutscene here. And then we do need to inspect the hole in the floor. As you can see, there's a photo down that way.
Just what I needed.
All right, from here, we'll go straight through this door. And again, feel free, you don't have to beeline it to any of these places. The photos will still be there when you get there. But here is the third photo.
A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents.
And then from here, we're going to go back down the stairs to that storage room and grab the photo that we just saw through the floor. So exit this way. Through the bathroom. And down the stairs. And as soon as we pick up this photo, that will complete the trophy. I don't think you need to find all of the photos. That's why I'm showing you this. I don't believe you need to find all of the photos to find Dana's bedroom. I think you just need this specific one, so might as well just put it in the guide to make sure that you know to grab all the photos. There you go. That is the next trophy for you, and we'll see you in just a little while. All right, now that we're in the next area and you've made it out of your tent where you start, we have a secondary objective, which is to search the camp before we leave. And there's also a trophy to grab here as well before we go. So first things first, let's head over to this this drying pelt. I don't know what exactly it is. Go ahead and look at that first. Okay, from here, head over to the tent. Immediately to your right, enter that. And then we have two things to inspect. We've got this down here.
Jaeger and Bauer have been a bit heavy-handed with the alcohol these past few evenings.
And then turn around and you can inspect this chest as well. We can't get into it quite yet, but you can take a look at it. And then we're going to exit out of the tent. Go. Directly next to the tent are a couple of things we need to inspect. I don't know if we can... Oh, right. This is where we get the trophy. You have to fill up your gourd here. Grab the trophy there, but we also need to check this inspect spot as well.
Not what you'd call cute, this Gorun. Just as well they haven't found it yet.
And then make sure you grab this pendant as well.
Can't have been easy for Bauer to leave his daughter just after she was born.
Then we can go ahead and back out of this, and then head over to this rifle.
The mountain's dangerous, and we're prepared for the worst.
I don't know if we need to go, or if we need to
I hope you're
try
not
this.
thinking of going inside my tent, Kobatis.
But you can if you want, and then we need to go back, and we're going to use the pendant to grab the code for this chest. So if you take a look at the pendant, where is it? Oh, right, we don't actually pick it up. We have to actually take the date on it. 4/8/1937. All right, so let's try 0408. There we go. And now we can go ahead and pop this open. And as soon as we explore through this and you back out...
All ship-shape. Typical Bauer. Bauer, are you little...
So then, once you exit here...
There's nothing more to do here, I guess.
Then you will finish the secondary objective, and we will move on. Okay, and then once you leave the camp and you wander a little ways down the path, you'll get another secondary objective, which is to inspect the equipment left behind before you set off. This one's pretty easy. There's a couple of things that we need to check. First things first, right here. Take a look at whatever you can.
Stopping to read in the middle of the wilds. That's sour all over. But what made him leave in such a hurry that he left behind all his gear? I'd better have a look around to find out what happened here.
And then to the right, just a little ways up the path, take a look at this.
What on earth is that?
And this should complete your secondary objective.
That mark must be what caused Sour to stop and rest for a while.
Okay, so a little bit farther through the game, you're going to find yourself here on Baden Island in this sort of like creepy cemetery area. There is a secondary objective that we need to do here, which is find the nameplate of donors. Now this is, if you look at this map, there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in this area. But I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible for you to grab the donor plate so you can get this finished, and then you can figure out everything else. I don't want to spoil it for you. It is pretty fun, but you know, I'll let you do that. It's really easy to get to where we're going. We're going to this section P right here to grab it. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything else for you.
Section 08 is over there. I don't have time to get lost in that maze.
And yeah, it was confusing for me the first time through here, so just make sure that you inspect everything. That's going to be my big thing. But I'll show you how to get to Section P as fast as possible. So you're going to put Oscar down here. He's going to be sort of your eyes for this project. You can swap to him anytime you get lost, so he will be pretty important. But ultimately, first things first, what we're going to do is... Again, feel free to inspect anything as we pass by it, but you're going to come up to this fork. You can't go forward, but you will be able to go down this path. Go all the way down as far as you possibly can. Around this corner. And then you're going to head to that staircase over this way. And then once we go up this staircase, it's going to be right there. This is section P, so I mean the area is really not that huge, but it's just navigating around and finding the stuff you need to find. But right up here are the donor plates.
I recognize some of the names here. Pretty interesting. But I should get back to what I was doing.
But there you go. So that is the secondary objective that you need in this area. Now you just need to find that 08 that was mentioned. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in the next section. Okay, now after you've done that, and you have found the site that you're looking for, you found 08, and you've played through everything up to this point, you're back now to Baden Island. Just big heads up that there is going to be a major spoiler that I'm going to show you on screen in about 10 seconds, okay? So if you haven't played it, pause, play it, do that first, but we do have something we need to do here before we leave. We have to get another trophy. So if you take a look at your map...
I need help here!
This is where we are with Oscar. Obviously, I haven't filled out the map all the way yet. I'll show you where to go to do those things. But we have a few things we need to fill out on the map to get this trophy. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to go from Oscar, and we're going to go pretty much the exact same way we went before. Make sure you stop and take a look at this first. This will get added to your map.
Impossible to get through. I'll have to find a way to go around it.
Take a look at that. Now come down here, and again, if you've gotten all this stuff, if you've gotten the trophy already, you can totally skip this part. But if you haven't, we do need to just make sure we grab everything. So come over this way, back behind here, inspect this.
Something's missing here.
You'll have to come back here with the pickaxe that we're about to go take a look at. So move down this way. Take a look at this.
Dead end. I'll have to go back.
This will also get added to your map. So now if we look at our map, I'll show you the exact ones that we just picked up.
Can you tell me where I am?
So we started at Oscar. This is the first thing we looked at. Then we came down here. This is the mechanism. Now we're up here. We just grabbed this. So we're going to go back. We're going to go around. We'll cut across to look at this. And then the pickaxe is right up here, kind of right below N. That's where I'm going to get the trophy. But I will show you over this way. Obviously, if you've visited the site, you know what this is. But then there's just two other things that you would need to grab. I'll show you where those are in just a moment. Okay, so from here, turn around, head down, and around. And I'm sorry, I know this is just a little confusing, just the way it's set up. I didn't want to spoil anything, and I don't know. Probably could have done this a little bit better, but alas. So let's grab, actually, you know what? Let's cut across this way first. We're going to run all the way down, and you would take a look at this.
Impossible to get through here. Better find another way.
That'll get added to your map, and then you can double back and go to where we just were. Head up this way. And then, yeah, if you for some reason haven't grabbed it, go up those stairs, and there is a donor plaque to the right. Take a look at that. That'll give you the secondary objective for this level, or area, whatever. And then take a look here.
Seems so old. This place must be centuries old.
There's a pickaxe right
here. The Undertakers must have forgotten it.
That should. Yep, so that added it to my map. As you can see, I'll show you what the full map looks like.
I'm kind of lost here.
We just added this.
Once again.
And then what we're going to do, again, I'll show you. We're just going to run down here, and I'll show you where the tool shed and that blocked path are. You may have already run into them while you've been exploring, but just head this way. Keep going. Go straight down the stairs. Camera gets a little wonky, so it can be difficult to kind of track. But here is the tool shed. You'll just want to inspect this.
The Undertakers must store their tools in it.
Like so. And then here, turn and go this way. And there's a blocked path here.
A dead end. I'll have to go back.
Now, once you have looked at all those things, you should have that trophy that we just got, the Cartographer trophy. And now you can figure out a way to get out of the cemetery, and I will see you in the next section. Now, once you find yourself back in the refuge, taking cover from a pretty big snowstorm that's happening outside, we are looking at our next secondary objective. If you scroll up, you just have to inspect the common room. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. There's only a couple things that you need to look at. First things first is this chair or stove.
They must have carried
area.
Mademoiselle Lenny to her room after she collapsed.
From there, look over to the right, and this should give you the
A photo of
everything that you
Leon
need.
on a ship.
So once you inspect everything on the table, back
There's
out.
something truly
and there you
odd
go.
going on with Mademoiselle Lenny. I really ought to have a little chat with her. But before...
Okay, now once you have looked at the bodies and you went upstairs, you met a new character and everything, we need to explore this room before we move forward. It is a secondary quest, or a secondary objective. Inspect the Gorn's room. So what we are going to do is just kind of quickly search around everything. Just look at everything in this room, and you'll get it before long.
Weapons.
Anything that you can inspect, make sure you do it. And you will also get a trophy for taking a look at this poster on the wall. So there you go. Get an extra trophy for that. And this should be, I can't remember if there's maybe one more thing that we need to look at.
This symbol.
All right, and I think the last thing is right here by the bed. Spool of wire.
Detonating wire. Just like in the old movies.
Then once you're back out of this, should be good. I forgot this one over on this wall, but make sure you grab that as soon as you're done looking at everything in the room.
So much happened to the Go-Room since
And you will
Leon found him in
finish
Baltayar.
the secondary objective.
What a life he had.
All right, now once you take control of Dana, you are immediately going to be tasked with another secondary objective, which is to talk to your allies before using the radio. But first things first, there is a painting. It depends on which painting you picked all the way back the first time you were in the refuge.
One of Leon's paintings. He did one of me posing on the terrace that summer when we met.
All right, so after you've explored the upstairs, you're going to head down, and to complete the secondary objective, we need to talk to the 4 different people that we can talk to, starting with Ludwig right here.
Judging by these installations, Leon's network seems particularly well organized. Pity the same can't be said for all the resistance networks the Foreign Office deals with.
We'll talk to him first. All right, now after you talk to Ludwig, you can head outside and talk to the rest of your allies. The radio that you need, by the way, is right over here. You can look at it and whatever, but just don't finish it yet. Make sure that you talk to everybody first. So let's head outside, and we will make the rounds. There's more people out here than we can actually talk to. Like this guy, I don't think you're allowed to actually talk to him. But if you remember a while ago, remember we made the choice to turn Lenny in, or not turn Lenny in, but to rat on Lenny for taking the camera thing. We have to do a very specific option when talking to her about this, so we get the trophy. But this is where if you didn't turn her in this playthrough, you would have to come all the way back to this point to get the trophy later on. So hopefully you decided to choose the one I told you to. If not, have fun coming all the way back to this point in your second playthrough. But anyway, let's talk to Lenny, and we'll grab the trophy for this. So talk to her.
I was just a bored kid messing about.
So now you have to click justify yourself, and you'll get the trophy.
I understand it can't have been nice for you, Lenny, but it did.
All right. So after speaking to Lenny, you'll have a lot less crucial interactions. Do need to continue to talk to everybody. Talk to Leon here next.
We'll talk later, Dana.
And then on over to this fellow.
Is everything all right, Herr Exner? You seem a little upset. Is it? Well, Everyone seems all right, more or less. I should get back to the radio now.
Alright, now once you find yourself in the next section playing as Dana, you're going to get a secondary objective to talk to old acquaintances before you go off to the infirmary. Now, in order to do that, you can see we already, Herr Haas over there, we already have met. We'll go ahead and talk to him first. I don't know if you need this document, but might as well take a look at it as well. But let's go ahead and talk to Haas. And after you talk to him, over here to the left, there will be a couple of gentlemen.
Herr Sauer?
Oh, Fräulein Dana.
And after you finish talking to Herr Sauer, you can talk to Gustav. That will finish the objective.
That's it. I'm definitely done with everybody here. I should go and talk to Lenny in the infirmary now.
Well, here we are in the emotional climax of the game. I hope you've been enjoying it. It has been quite a good story, in my opinion. But we are here with the final secondary objective of the game. If you, well, I guess you can't take a look at your diary, but if you hit down, you can see contemplate what could have been. We have a couple of things to look at in-house. First things first, just turn around and start by looking out the window again. Now, of course, if you've been following along with the guide, this is, as soon as you finish the secondary objective, you should get a trophy. Make sure you get that. If not, you'll unfortunately have to play through the game again and do the secondary objectives that way. But, yeah, head over to this mantelpiece. Take a look at the photo. Then turn around, and on the coffee table, there's something we need to look at. And then finally, the last thing you need to look at, and what will give you the trophy, the final thing we need to see over here on the shelf. Take a look at this. After you do that, back out. And you have essentially completed the game.
A ghost, Dana. That's all you are. Stop haunting these people and leave.
So there you have it. Enjoy the end of the game, and I will see you on the other side to grab one final trophy and get the platinum. If once you finish the game, you should check your trophy list. You should only have the one final trophy we need to do, and then you'll have the platinum. So I will see you quickly for our second playthrough. See you soon. Alright, so I've played through the game yet again, and I've made it back to this part. Again, make sure you talk to Lenny when you play as Dana the first time.
Leon sees in her.
So once you take the key from the coffer here...
Be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
All we have to do to get our platinum is to don't denounce Lenny. And there it is. Enjoy the platinum. Thanks for the journey. Here with me on Plat Pursuit, and I will see you in the next video.